In today's MLB recap, we have Aaron Judge versus a fan, and also in that same game, Devin Williams, he's well on his way to blowing another save. The A's pitching staff has an almost 8 ERA the last month. I wish that I was kidding, but they just gave up another 400 runs yesterday. Corbin Carroll hit not just one, but two absolute moonshots against the Braves, who also, just like the A's, cannot win any baseball games lately. Pete Crow Armstrong, the breakout star for the Cubs, made some power speed history in yesterday's game. He's just casually on pace for a 40-50 season. We saw an insane walk-off web gem in the Reds game, and Paul Skenes, I'll mention this again later, and I just want to reiterate that I feel bad for saying this, but he's got to get traded. And Pirates fans, I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. It's Bob Nutting, the worst owner in baseball right now. So we'll talk about all of that and more in today's MLB recap. And guys, don't forget that recap is brought to you by SeatGeek and Underdog Fantasy. Use code Fuzzy. To start today's recap, we got to go with Jac Caglianone making his debut, one of the highly touted hitting prospects of the last few years. The whole family's in attendance, friends are there, and he got 5 at-bats, so he had to have gotten his first big league hit, right? He'll get his first AB after this Bobby Witt Jr. home run. Bobby had a few pretty special clips in this one. Jack, there he is. He corked one to the track, but there's not many Victor Scotts left in AAA where they can go get a baseball. That dude can fly. You just got to tip your cap. He's one of like 5 guys in baseball who have the speed to make that grab. Momentum swung all the way to the Cardinals, and I mean, really swung. Gorman had a 2-run home run, his second of the season, and after a few more runs, Alec Burleson crushed a baseball, his 5th. It's 7-2 Cardinals. Okay, it's 7-3. Nick Lofton, he got one to go. Bobby, it's not a home run, but it's a 2-run base hit. And so is this one. Vinnie Pasquantino, he ripped a lefty-lefty double to tie it, so it's 5 runs in the blink of an eye, and now the Royals, they're taking the lead. Salvi had an RBI dunk shot, and there's another 2-run knock. Michael Garcia, he bounced one through the infield. It is a 10 spot. Bobby, he then flexed the defense with the backhand slide and the throw to rob Victor Scott, who can fly. We've already talked about him today. That's as good as it gets from a shortstop. Jack, he unfortunately did go 0 for 5, but he hit 2 baseballs over 112 miles an hour. The Royals still take it in epic comeback fashion. Estevez has 17 saves. The Royals are 32-29. The Cardinals are 33-27. Okay, at this point, I have no idea what's happening to the A's aside from maybe cosmic karma. Like, somehow these last 20 games the A's have played have been the gods smiting them down. So they had a 3-0 lead, and it vanished with 3 loud swings. Willi Castro, the MLB The Show legend, he hammered one to left field for his first of 2. Trevor Larnach, he launched one to that grassy berm out there in the outfield. Willi with his 2nd in as many innings. This is his 2nd multi-home run game the last week. Buxton, he's been so good this year. He's finally healthy. He had 2 more. I'm going to knock on wood. He's finally healthy. He had 2 more RBIs for RBIs 36 and 37, and he's back to being tied as the fastest player in all of baseball. Pablo Lopez, this is bad news. The Twins and the Dodgers, man, when it comes to injuries, they just always seem to never be able to catch a break. They're saying he's going to be out for quite some time with a shoulder issue. He had to leave early. Now, the Twins kept on tacking it on 4. Pablo Lee got hit by a pitch. That's an RBI. Royce Lewis, he just missed a grand slam to snap an 0 for 32. His first hit in 32 at-bats is crazy. He's way too good for that. A wild pitch makes it 9-3, and here's number 10. The A's, they just lost their 19th in their last 20 games. 1-19 doesn't make any sense because their offense has been pretty good. The A's are top 7 in team OPS over the last month, but they have a near 8 ERA, and teams are batting .310 versus their pitching staff over the last month. What do you even do with that? How do you get better? You can't just say, hey, go reset. No, they can't reset because they keep stinking it up. I'm not joking when I say this, and to all my Pirates fans, this is not an attack on you. This is an attack on Bob Nutting. Paul Skenes has to get the heck out of Pittsburgh. Real quick, I got to show off Lance McCullers because he's been a strikeout machine over the last few weeks. He goes 6 scoreless. He now has 19 strikeouts his last 12 innings pitched. So that knuckle curve, it has an insane 56% whiff rate. And now it's Paul's time to shred. He allowed just 2 tiny little base hits over 6 scoreless, and he didn't give up a run until the 7th inning on pitch 73. That's how efficient he was. The sweeper just did not sweep enough, and Christian Walker got a barrel on it. Christian Walker has been a lot better lately. Now Paul did bounce back with 2 strikeouts to end that frame. He then came out for the 8th inning, make it 3 strikeouts in a row. How about 4 in a row? He went full-blown Thanos. He was snapping his fingers, and Astros hitters were just getting erased from history. He goes 8 innings with 1 earned run as his team got shut out. Isaac Paredes put some salt in the wound with a long 2-run home run. He has 12 home runs and a near 130 OPS plus. Josh Hader has 16 saves as the Astros are now 33-27. But I got to talk about Skenes more. Paul Skenes is now 4-6. If you're not great at math, that is a losing record despite having a 2.05 ERA, but it gets even worse though. He's won one game since April 25th, yet he has a 1.3 ERA his last 40 innings. Bob Nutting, if he has any sort of respect for this kid, needs to trade Paul immediately. Like, I hate saying that because Pittsburgh fans, they deserve this guy and they deserve a winning team, but for God's sakes, we cannot waste a generational player like Paul. Does Bob understand the historic haul that he would get in trading away Paul Skenes? Like, right now, there's maybe 2 or 3 other guys with more trade value in the game. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, maybe Bobby Witt Jr., but could you get 5 top 10 prospects? Sure. Could you get 3 top 10s and maybe 2 of a team's better everyday players? Have him. It's Paul Skenes. He's a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Again, I apologize for adding to the misery that is being a Pirates fan. I honestly don't want to have these conversations, but I'm just starting to feel really bad for Paul Skenes. How do you reward his historic rookie season with Tommy Pham and Adam Frazier? The Pirates stink. This is the second time in the last 4 weeks where Paul Skenes has gone 8 innings with 1 earned run, and his team got shut out. It's embarrassing and pathetic. Bob Nutting is a disgrace to the game of baseball. Remember, he's the owner of the Pirates. This is his fault. And I hate to say it, but it just seems like Paul is on a collision course to end up in pinstripes because now they got the beard thing, so he's going to look normal. Okay, let's just talk about them because they're taking on J-Ram and the Guard Dogs. We'll show the Dodgers game and Corbin Carroll hitting 2 home runs right after this. Bibee, I mean, he's awesome. You just saw him strike out the side in the first. Bibee actually held the Yankees hitless through 4 1/3, but Jazz, he ended that, and then Jazz ended up scoring on a base hit from DJ LeMahieu, who now has 5 base hits and 3 RBIs his last 2 games. Here's that Judge versus a fan moment in right field. This was as close as it gets because it looked like it could have been in foul territory, so the fan had the right to go get it, but it also looked like it was kind of fair, and that Judge would have caught it. They called it interference, so they sided with Aaron Judge. David Fry, he's back. He tied it off of Carlos Rodon, who still dominated his way through 7 innings. He had 8 more strikeouts. He's literally been a top 5 pitcher in the game the last month and a half. Tanner wanted to go 7. Jazz, he's happy that Tanner had the confidence to try because that's a home run. And same with Volpe. They go back-to-back. Bibee has now allowed 14 home runs in 12 starts. There's no way. Devin, he's blowing another save. Schneemann got one through the hole. It's 3-2, and it stays there. He did not fully blow it. He did give up a run, and you can see that after the game, even after getting his 6th save and the Yankees improving to 37-22, Devin Williams, I mean, he's absolutely heated. He's not happy. Corbin Carroll had 3 base hits and 2 home runs, right? But so did Ketel Marte. The first one went 445 feet, an absolute laser beam home run. Ronald, he wants one as well. He lifted a ball to deep right, but Corbin, he takes at least a double away. Ketel, he then got the green light in a 3-0 count. That's his 2nd home run of the day off of Spencer Strider. They were both screamer home runs. There's no way that this is leaving, right? Drake Baldwin, he's got it like that. He has the bat speed of a 6'7" corner outfielder, not a rookie catcher. He has 6 home runs, and he's nearing a 900 OPS, again, as a rookie catcher. Corbin with number 17, Spencer. He's leaving way too many pitches over the heart of the plate. And Ozuna, he got a hold of one, but Alek Thomas, he tracked it down. He saved Shelby Miller's bacon. I don't know why old people say that. What does that even mean? Anyways, Corbin, he went way out again. Both went over 415 feet. He has 18 home runs, 10 stolen bases, a 150 OPS plus, and 3 outs above average defensively, which is pretty good. The Braves are 27-32. They straight up suck lately, which makes no sense at all because they're pretty much back to being healthy aside from AJ, who just went down. The Diamondbacks are 29-31, so both pretty good rosters under 500. More playoff baseball in June. I love these games. The big dogs, they were driving in runs early. Both the Mets and Dodgers first basemen put one on the board. Pete with a single, Freddie with his first of 2 doubles. Wait for the second one. The Dodgers, they took the lead on a Will Smith ground out, and Max Muncy is straight up demolishing baseballs. Freddie had 2 doubles, and Max had 2 home runs. Juan, I told you he was about to break out. Since I told you a breakout was imminent, he has 5 consecutive games with an extra base hit. He's batting .333 with a 1400 OPS. Always look at BABIP, that is batting average on balls in play, and exit velocities. It pretty much tells you if a player is going to break out or not. Okay, bye-bye lead. Glasses did not help Muncy see this baseball. He makes an error, and instead of it being 3 outs, Kershaw, he's left out there to bear down. Bye-bye lead. Pete, he peppered his 2nd RBI single, and Nimmo, he beat Kershaw to the bag. They went to the replay, and they reversed it, so it's now 5-4 Mets. Kershaw has an almost 5 ERA his last 11 starts. Huascar Brazoban, why is he out there? He threw 32 pitches 24 hours ago. I don't get this, but just like Jazz and Volpe were grateful that Tanner went out for the 7th, Muncy is grateful that Huascar came out after really depleting his arm from the game previously. That is a game-time moonshot. Tanner Scott, he was great for the first time in weeks. That is a shutout 10th inning, and here's Freddie with the walk-off double. His 2nd does win it, and I will say that was a misplay from Brandon Nimmo. He does have to catch that. The Dodgers have 37 wins. The Mets have 36. So earlier in that Guardians and Yankees game, I forgot to mention that J-Ram stole another 2 bags. Pete Crow Armstrong did the same. He flared one to shallow right with his team down a few, and I mean, come on. How many guys can get 2 bases on a ball hit there? He's off for 3rd now. That's his 20th stolen base. He just became the 4th fastest human ever to have 15 home runs and 20 stolen bases. Eric Davis doing it in 40 games back in the 1980s is just like road to the show level, does not make sense talent. By the way, Pete again stole 2, so he has 21 bags. Look at Michael Busch and the Cubs. They're making a comeback. It's 3-2. Now it's 3-3 on the Dansby Swanson sac fly, and we have one more of those. Seiya, he skied a baseball 987 feet in the air, plenty of distance to get Matt shot home. Nico, this guy is insane. It is 7-3. Nico Hoerner is going to have another 30 double, 30 stolen base, 5 wins above replacement season. He is just as underrated as it gets. And this right here, to me, is going to be a win-win trade, or at least it's a win-win trade in the works. Right now, the Dodgers are kind of losing it, but Michael Busch has 9 home runs, a crazy 380 on base, and a 155 OPS plus. But Zaire Hope, who the Dodgers got in return, he's looking like a future star for the Dodgers. That's kind of a random tangent, I'm sorry. But the Cubs, they pick up their 38th win. They've won 3 in a row. The Nationals are back down to 4 games under 500. Does anyone else think that it's crazy that a Bryce Harper down season, in air quotes, still means he's on pace for almost 40 doubles and 30 home runs and 100 walks? I better see all of you guys at his Hall of Fame induction ceremony in a few years. He and Trey went back-to-back in the first. Max Kepler, he drove in another. And I think Jays fans, they probably turned this game off early because my friend drove in too. Jays right fielder Addison Barger, he showed off the cannon all right, but I think he was a little bit too accurate because it would have been a perfect throw had a human being not been in the way. Bryce, he scores easy on the deflection. Davis Schneider, here you go, Jays fans, he dented a baseball. But skipping to Trey's second, he's batting .340 with 5 home runs and 6 stolen bases his last 14 games. He leads the entire National League this year in base hits. I think that he can honestly mash his way into Hall of Fame conversations over the next few years, but they got to move into center field so they can help out his WAR totals. Addison Barger has so many crazy tools. Look at this home run, his 6th home run. He has a crazy good 135 OPS plus. The Phillies, they take this one easy. As Christopher Sanchez, he skated around 4 walks to go 6 innings with 1 run. The Phillies are 14 games over 500. Before we show the walk-off web gem, I have to fanboy over the Rockies catcher Hunter Goodman one more time. Now, I guess we'll have to wait because Jordan Beck, he singled to make it 2-1, and Thairo Estrada, he reset the score with the sac fly. Wait, we have some more web gems too. McMahon, he got the speedy Xavier Edwards, and Orlando Arcia, he dove to make another play. Now we can show Hunter Goodman and his 10th home run because he's batting .295 with 13 extra base hits and 17 RBIs his last 24 games. Hold up. Wait, hold the phone. I didn't even know that Brenton Doyle did this. I was setting up a walk-off web gem in the next game. I guess we have multiple walk-off web gems. Doyle showed off why he's won multiple Gold Gloves with a leaping grab to end it. The Rockies, they just won their first series of the year. The start of this next game made me pretty sad, not because I hate the Brewers or anything, but because Hunter Green, he's going to have to go on the IL after he just kind of tweaked something. He has a groin strain. Yelich, he extended his hitting streak to 11 games. He's batting .455 over those 11. Sal Frelick, he flicked his wrist again. He tattooed a mistake splitter. That was a cookie. He's up to 4 home runs. Cincinnati, they just tied it. Freddie Peralta, he's been really good this year, aside from the home run ball. He left one down the middle. And Tyler Stevenson, he bopped one out, a game-tying Oppo Taco. There was a go-ahead sac fly off the bat of Connor Joe, but I'm going to skip to this. Will Benson, he would have won it for the Reds anyways. Will also went Oppo, and that was a nice way to snap back because he started the game 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Ellie, yikes, buddy, he threw one into the dugout, which set up this next swing. Jake Bauers cranked one, but TJ Friedl, he took it back for the walk-off robbery. Pagan, look at Pagan's face, got me to chuckle, I'm not going to lie. The Reds, they take it. They're 30-32. The Brewers are 33-29, but they've been surging lately. From the Reds to the Red Sox, I'm going to need you guys to say a prayer for my editor, Pesky Talk, because the Red Sox have been stinking it up. And the game right now, wait until tomorrow. It's one of the craziest starts to a baseball game I've ever seen in my 28 years of life. So we just saw De La Cruz airmail a throw, and Cedon did the same thing, so that allowed runners to advance on the Neto RBI single. Now Neto is scoring thanks to that advancement. It's 2 RBIs for Nolan Shawniewell. That throwing error cost the Red Sox the entire game because Jarren Duran and Cedon, they teamed up to tie it. Duran has 3 doubles his last 2 games, and Rafaela, he ruined Yusei's bid at 6 innings, just 1 run. Cedon went to the parking lot, and again, it should be 3-2 Sox. Instead, this Taylor Ward double play is a go-ahead run for the Halos, and Reed, he stayed locked the heck in. He has 1 earned run with 15 strikeouts his last 11 innings. The Angels take the first 2, but they're still like 4 games under 500. The Red Sox are 5 games under 500. Who would have thought that the Red Sox would have the exact same record the last few weeks as the White Sox? The Tigers, they got handed a rare whooping. Michael A. Taylor, he had 4 RBIs in the first few innings because before he drilled that 3-run no-doubter, he also worked a bases out of walk. Dylan Dingler, I'll show this just like I showed that, a couple home runs for the Blue Jays. He knocked in 1, but that was it for Tigers fans in their highlights. That wasn't off of Shane Smith, by the way, the rookie. We'll talk about him in a second. Chicago ran it up to 8. It was 6-1 on the Austin Slater 2-run double, and then the final 2 came on singles. Mike Tauchman and Chase Meidroth, they both tacked on 1 more. Meidroth, he's going to get some Rookie of the Year votes, and I think the starter Shane Smith, he's going to get some votes as well. He went 5 1/3 scoreless with 6 strikeouts against the 40-win Tigers. He has a sub 2.5 ERA his first 12 starts. His changeup, it might be the best in baseball. He's holding opponents to a 111 batting average against it with a near 36% whiff rate. GG's to that. Drew Rasmussen? Nah, he's been Drew Rasputin, just an absolute sorcerer over the last few starts. I mean, these pitches are disgusting. He hasn't allowed a run in weeks. No, actually, weeks. And now he's got a lead to work with. This Cameron Meisner, he hit one that snuck over that Wyatt Langford just to not see. Again, if you've never played baseball in twilight, it's almost bad as getting a ball into the sun. You just can't see it. Drew Rasmussen had 8 strikeouts over 5 shutout, 1 hit. He hasn't allowed a run his last 4 starts combined. One of the yips was this. Latz, the lefty, threw a baseball 18 feet up in the air, and Mangum, his legs took over. He had an RBI single, he stole a bag, and because he was just causing chaos, the run scores in the bad throw. And Junior, he ended the scoring for both teams. This ball is gone. That's number 14 for the 21-year-old. The Rays are 31-29. The Rangers are 29-32. Gotta tip my cap and say GG's to Tomoyuki Sagano because he's well on his way to also getting Rookie of the Year votes like Shane Smith and a few other guys, Jacob Wilson, Christian Campbell, Chase Meidroth. You just saw Ali Rutschman hit the dolphin dive to avoid the tag at home. That's a nice throw from Leote, but just a little bit too late. Rowdy hit the power button on this one. Sheesh. Now, it's all good because Colton Cowser, he did the same after Ryan O'Hearn plated 1. O'Hearn had another 2-hit game and a walk. Kirby, make sure you guys say some prayers for George Kirby. He got hit by a comebacker. I can't really show the aftermath. I'm just praying that everything is okay and intact. There's Colton going the other way for a second. He missed a lot of action being on the IL, but he's finally back. The other young lefties, Kerstad and Holiday, they put a few baseballs in play. They added 2 more for the bullpen, and they didn't need those runs. Sagano went 6 innings again with just 1 run, a rare 5 strikeout game. He usually has 2 or 3. He has a 3.04 ERA and a tiny 1.4 walks per 9. He locates with the best of them. You're about to see one of the longest doubles you can possibly hit in San Francisco. It bangs off the top of the wall, and Elliot Ramos, he showed Patrick Bailey what big boy strength is, 420 plus feet for his 11th home run. Look at the other big boy, Gerard Encarnacion, making the play out in right center. He just kind of stuck his glove out and snagged it. Landon Roop, he was awesome, going 5 1/3 shutout. Chapman had an insane double play. And by the way, Roop is out the game now. Rogers, he worked his PFPs, and Camilo Duvall, he's been nails, but with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Manny Machado saved the Padres from the jaws of defeat. A 2-run single, a blooper. Fernando Tatis Jr. flew around the score. Cronenworth, he then stole the lead in the 10th, and wow, it's over. Xander, he tossed out Jung Hoo Lee to give a shot of the save. What a turn of events. I thought the Giants were going to take that easy. The Padres are 11 games over 500 now. Well, that does it for today's recap. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek as well as Underdog Fantasy. Leave a like and subscribe, and enjoy the web gems.
Side. Young diving to his right, Cole gets up, throws the first. 0-1 is slowly hit towards third. McMahon charges, bare hand pick, throw to first, and got him. There's a ball hit on one sharp line out to shortstop Henderson. Retreats, makes the pickup. Flare to right center, Isbell's there. He's